South Africa's private sector started 2025 on a weak footing. That's as business conditions deteriorated sharply in January, according to the latest S&P Global SA Purchasing Managers Index. The PMI fell to 47.4, that's from 49.9 in December, marking its lowest level since July 2021. A sharp drop in client demand was the key driver behind the contraction. Sappi is back in the black. The pulp and paper producer has posted a first quarter profit of $70 million. That's from a loss of $126 million a year ago. The swing comes as the group benefited from higher selling prices and sales volumes. Cost-saving initiatives and operational efficiency gains also helped. Sasol has warned of a profit knock. Headline earnings per share are expected to fall as much as 36% at the halfway stage. This would put HEPS in a range between 13 and 15 rand from just over 20 rand previously. That's as a result of lower sales volumes, a decline in the average rand per barrel price of Brent crude, and a decrease in refining margins and fuel price differentials. Sasol will release its interim financial results on February the 24th. Fatalities have been reported at Harmony Gold's operations. 2 employees lost their lives following an incident at the group's Doornkop mine. And in another incident, 3 employees succumbed to their injuries following a severe fall of ground accident at the Joel mine. The causes of these 2 unrelated incidents are currently under investigation, both internally and by the regulator. FlySafair has been given 12 months to comply with ownership rules laid out by the Air Services Licensing Council. This follows a recent ruling that found the airline in breach of domestic air licensing regulations. The carrier needs to have at least 75% of voting rights held by South African citizens and could face sanctions if it fails to meet this target. The group says it's evaluating all options, including shareholder adjustments and legal recourse, but has assured customers that given the airline has a year to comply, there is no immediate threat to operations. Further afield, Wegovy maker Novo Nordisk on Wednesday forecast sales would grow at a slower rate this year, although the outlook was roughly in line with market expectations as the pace of ferocious demand for its wildly popular obesity drug Wegovy eases somewhat. Here's more detail in this package report.
Novo Nordisk forecast growth to slow down this year, but investors were happy to hear Wegovy's sales more than doubled in the final quarter of last year. Analysts described the results as good enough to ease nerves about competition from rival Eli Lilly. Shares rose over 4% as fourth quarter earnings came in above forecasts Wednesday. Investors were worried ahead of the results about potentially slowing demand for obesity drugs in the US. The company also faces tough competition from US rival Eli Lilly. Novo lost out to Lilly in the fourth quarter in terms of total weekly prescriptions written for Wegovy compared to Lilly's Zepbound in the US. Novo Nordisk said fourth quarter operating profit jumped 37% to $5.12 billion, better than analyst forecasts. Sales of Wegovy more than doubled to $2.77 billion during the quarter from a year before. The number was in line with expectations and higher than the third quarter. The firm said it expects sales growth in local currencies to range between 16 and 24% this year. That's lower than the 26% growth seen in 2024.
And the world's top-selling automaker Toyota raised its profit forecast for the current year through March to $30.7 billion in a sign of confidence in its ability to ride out the impact of any potential US tariffs. Let's take a look.
Japan's Toyota raised its full-year operating profit forecast by 9% on Wednesday in a sign of confidence in its ability to ride out the impact of any potential US tariffs. The world's top-selling automaker raised its profit forecast for the current year through to March to $30.7 billion. That's despite posting weaker than expected earnings for the third quarter. Operating profit for the 3 months through to December was down 28% from a year earlier. In recent quarters, Toyota's profit was pushed higher by strong hybrid vehicle demand in the US and other major markets. Operating income in North America, though, fell 63% over the first 9 months of the financial year. That was mainly due to a decrease in sales volume and higher personnel-related costs. Income in China also declined during that period, where it's been pressured by higher marketing costs amid heavy competition from Chinese brands. Toyota said it would establish a wholly owned company in Shanghai. It will develop and produce electric vehicles and batteries for its luxury Lexus brand, with production set to start in 2027. Last week, Toyota reported global group unit sales of 10.8 million vehicles for 2024. That made it the world's best-selling automaker for a fifth successive year. Its share price was up 4.7% towards the end of the Japanese trading day.